let me offer you a warm welcome to the re-ride. The question writers don't usually like it when we waste all of their precious questions on just one player, but I say to hell with them. Are you new to the re-ride? Welcome back. We all had great fun with you last time. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but just in case, here are your buzzers. Please allow me to remind you that this is a non-profit fan project in no way associated with Jackbox Games. You are now ready for the re-ride. I wish you the very best of luck.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide. This episode of The Re-Ride is sponsored by The Dark Void. Once you enter it, there is no turning back. And here's your host, the fearsome frontman, Conan Blankenberg.
Welcome to The Re-Ride. I hope we're not interrupting any naps or anything. I hear they're working on getting humans back on the moon. Ha! What a bunch of idiots, right? Walking around where very few people have ever walked before and having the unforgettable experience of their lifetimes when they could just as well have watched the 5th rerun of House MD on Netflix. Yeah, you sure do know how to live the life. All right, if you don't know, just give me your best guess. We're heading off. All right, we'll need some... Cool. And now it's time for a little question I like to call... Factor or Fictioner. You know how sometimes when there's something there, but people can't really agree on what, except that there's definitely something there, they call that something the X factor? Well, mathematically speaking, what is the X factor? Something X is divisible by, something X is... In math, a factor is a number that another number is cleanly divisible by. Of course, the X Factor is also the name of a talent show, and speaking of mathematics, here is my empirical proof that talent shows are all terrible. Step 1. Watch one! Okay, gonna need a valid? Thank you, and here is your category. Darker than the darkest ratings. Put on your thinking caps, it's time to go. Based on the hours of sunlight their cities experienced during a 24-hour period, which of these crime dramas would keep their detectives in the dark the longest? Hawaii 5-0 in January. During July, Sydney gets up to 11 hours of darkness because July is in the middle of the Southern Hemisphere winter. Unfortunately, the show had to be cancelled after every single cast and crew member was bitten by a deadly poisonous spider, snake, bee, butterfly, and or pillowcase. Oh, Australia. I've got a question for you if you've got... Well, I've seen worse. Certainly seen better. Here's what this question is called. Horror, I hardly monster. The genre of horror is quintessentially about the fear of the unknown. What we don't know can often make us very, very afraid, but I'm tired of this. I don't want to be afraid anymore. Which part of my brain should I let a zombie eat if I never wanted to be afraid of the unknown again? The front bit, the bit at the top, the bit at the bottom. Oh, that's a good brain. Fear is controlled by the amygdala, and the amygdala is just above the brainstem, so the bit at the bottom. Now I only have to find a zombie, but I'm so afraid of zombies. Damn it, I knew there was an issue with my plan. All right, everybody. Good pick, and here's your category. All right, this one's a fill in the blank, so when you know the answer, buzz in and start typing. Now, speaking of horror and the fear of the unknown, we'd be remiss not to mention the progenitor of psychological horror, Mr. Lovecraft. What's the name of the H.P. Lovecraft monster that makes you go more and more insane the more you know about it? And remember, spelling counts. Here's your time. Cthulhu-Fhtagn. So the more you know about Cthulhu, the crazier you get, but the less you know about H.P. Lovecraft, the easier it is to enjoy his works. Trust me. Hit your buzzer when a good value flies.
If there are things that you don't know, do science with your brain. Oh, B-R-A-I-N, B-R-A-I-N, B-R-A-I-N. until you go and say no.
Welcome to Brain! Buzz in when the first letter of the right answer lights up to win some money. Be the first to pick up all 5 letters and you get some bonus cash. Well, there's no time like the present. Default assumption or blank hypothesis. Can't be done. Nope, simply impossible. No. Legendary sunken city. Atlantis. We'll never know either way type of atheism. True or false value? Boolean. Will Smith film about the dangers of AI? iRobot. New Mexico town famous for its UFO lore. Alright, well. You can't prove a blank. You can't prove a negative. Brain! Bonus! And there's your current score. Hope you're happy with it. Let's move on. Okay, buzz in when you see values like these is what the word decent was invented for. Not the worst, not the best. Here's your category. Title drop. It's a universal truth that everyone, I and you, don't know Jack. Specifically, Jack the Ripper. So I thought I'd look for a biography on him and see what I can learn. Let's see. Oh. Whoa, whoops. It looks like I accidentally picked out the biography of Jack the Ripper. What could I presumably learn about him? How he cunningly traded stock options in 19th century England? How he mastered... Ripper, or actually pronounced Ripper, just like the actual Ripper, is a fish peddler. He who peddles fish. Well, I guess we'll still find lots and lots about guts in this one. I don't know why I'm... jeez. I have to talk to my therapist. Show me the money, hit your buzzer at the... Nope, here's what we're dealing with. The answer is, I don't know. Ever want to answer a question with I don't know and still get money for it? Well, here's your chance. Where was the very first website created? Not a clue, can't discern. Well, there you go. The very first entry in the World Wide Web was made by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, also known as CERN. Disappointingly, there were no cat pictures or chain letters on it. But at least there's no ads. Come on, big bucks, no. Shamalama ding dong zinger dinger. Okay, alright, I think we all know what this is. Oh boy, yep, there it is. It's time for Gibberish. Woohoo! Let's take a look at the actual Gibberish category for this question then. Sir Galahad's Fire Mixtape. Remember, that cash is gonna drop fast, so if you want to win big, you gotta be quick. Alright then, listen up and tell me what quote this rhymes with. Big Sir minces dis. And don't mind that full stop. First clue, it's a proverb about not knowing. Ignorance is bliss, and if ignorance is bliss, then this game is probably the only thing keeping you from achieving true happiness right now. Sorry about that. It's all up to you, go big. Nicely done. Here's what this one's called. Is this bliss? Oh boy, playing for $9,110 here, so better pay good attention to this one. If ignorance is bliss, then what is ignorance not? A WWE wrestler, a Powerpuff Girl, a Nelly Furtado song, or an Australian game show? There's no Aussie game show called Bliss. Actually, I'm told there once was an Aussie game show called Bliss, but unfortunately it had to be cancelled after every single cast and crew member was bitten by a deadly poisonous spider, snake, bee, butterfly, and or pillowcase. Get it? It's the same joke as before! Because Australia! Who in their right mind would want to live there? Come and get yourself a night's allowance. And here's what this next question is called. We are all so utterly clueless. The more I think about all the things that we don't know, it just makes me feel so naive, so insignificant. What we know is just a tiny, teensy fraction of reality, and there's just so much out there. It's times like this where I have to seek refuge in the small certainties in life, however non-numerous they may be. So, what is one thing that we definitely do know for sure? Why we sleep, how a Tylenol works, where the stone for the pyramids came from, or none of the above. Yep, thank God. The stones that make up the pyramids come from a quarry just south of them. Unfortunately, that's just about the only thing we know about the pyramids, so let's just get on with it. Hit buzzer, select value. It's easy as ABC. Let's go. I always knew you'd make it here. Commit this clue to memory. Shh, it's a secret. Can I tell you a secret? Or do you already know them all? End of the line. Let's check out your total. Pretty good. Too bad no one's gonna believe ya.